Well, I've got something in here that you just won't believe how good it is. Ah, there you are. I wondered where you'd got to. Yeah, been a while since I had a box like this kicking around, from anybody really. And yeah, it's very good reason for it actually. I've got this sort of guitar body that I'm fitting a kit of GK3 onto the body, because it's a knackered body, for one reason or another, but more of that in the other video. There it is, it all looks quite reasonable on the back, but sadly it doesn't look very reasonable on the front, but it will do when it's all done. Yeah, and I've been hacking out holes and stuff like that you can see in the back. But this video is not about the body. It's about this box and what's in it. You're going to be surprised. Trust me, you will. Now, it might be wrong to suggest that Tony here somehow doesn't like Fender. Actually, I do like Fender. Well, for most of the cases, except that one. Remember that? In fact, it's over there. I've yet to go back and take another look at it. That's how interested I am. A lot of people would know that I'd made a few guitars, well, about 5 or 6 or something like that, for myself, of course, with Warmoth parts. In fact, that body that's over there on the floor is a Warmoth body. It's a long story, that is. I wanted to turn the body into a guitar. So I've got a lot of bits and pieces, like things like tuners, or tuners, as they say. But I hadn't got a neck. I've used them all. So I thought to myself, well, let's have a look around the internet, as you do, and I came up with this. Well, what I'm going to do is pull this out of its case. Let's cut the junk and get on with it. Okay. I guess all along you knew it was going to be a Fender neck. Oh my God, what's Tony bought? He's been through the Chinese ones. Don't go there. He's been through the Warmoth ones, as much as $1,000, well, nearly $1,000 landing in England. Yeah, for a Warmoth neck. And I thought to myself, well, the body's not very good, so I ought to get a bit of a cheaper neck. I thought it could be a cheap one. It is cheap as far as money's concerned, but you're going to be surprised when we take a look at this. I'm going to get it out of the box. Well, here it is. This is how it comes when it's out of the box, so to speak. And I thought to myself, when I ordered this, I thought it's probably not going to be very good. I don't know, well, I do know why, and we'll get to that. But when I decided to take a look at it, do you know, we're going to have a look closer, by the way, don't worry. When I decided to take a look at this thing, I thought to myself, man, there's more to this than you think. I mean, there really is. And when you get to come and see it close up in a second, you're not going to believe what you get for the money. Well, where did I get this thing from? Well, I got it from DV247. Now, I did look around the other stores and the rest of it, but DV247 is where it came from, and I'll tell you what it is and how much it cost. Let's take a look down here. Yeah, here it is. It's a roasted maple neck, Strat, oval, 22 fret, 12-inch radius, and it's Pau Ferro. I think that's how they say it. In either case, looks a pretty smart sort of job. Yeah, roasted maple. Now, yeah, and how much did I pay for it? Well, I paid in British pounds. Don't forget, includes 20% tax. I paid £275 for it, which I think's well, when you get to see, you can figure out yourself whether you think it's worth the money. And while I was ordering from DV247, yeah, I got one of these catalogues. Yeah, really awesome. And there it was in the box. Yeah, well, there you go. That's where it was from. That's what it cost. And by the way, I did actually buy this. Fender have had no say in it, thankfully. And neither have DV247, who didn't know that it was going to be reviewed. So what did I get? Well, I got the neck that you could have bought, or anyone else. And of course, the problem with a neck like this is that, well, It might not be what you want. You only know when you receive it. Oh, I must be the lucky one. So what I'm going to do, I want to zoom in a bit closer and let you have a look at this roasted maple neck, Strat, it says here, oval, 22 frets, 12-inch radius, Pau Ferro, and nothing else I can say about it. It'll speak for itself, just trust me on this. Well, there we go. I don't know what you think about the first view of that, but to me, it looks absolutely awesome. This Pau Ferro, I mean, it's not rosewood by any means, but you can see how it looks. I mean, it looks just, well, very much like a piece of rosewood, if you want the truth. And it feels really good too. If you get down and have a look at those frets, I mean, that's always an important aspect. And these are just finished really, really well, on the edges in particular. Down here, yeah. I think that's hypercritical. Yeah. So let's go up the neck a bit and see what else there is to see. Well, here's a shot of the middle section. Well, it's getting nearer the top. Top's just past my finger, so that's the first fret, if you will. You can see they all look pretty cool to me, and they probably look pretty cool to you. And these almost look like they're made out of clay, don't they? Almost. You wouldn't be able to tell from the other side of the stage, let's put it that way. You can't tell from here where I am, which is 4 foot away. Well, I did want to get a bit closer, right? Particularly around this area to do with the nut. Now, the nut isn't entirely finished off, I have to tell you that. It's got grooves in it, it's got the sort of light grooves in it, but they're not enough for my liking. And I think that with it being sort of square on this other edge here, down here, well, it needs a little bit of work there, but not much. You probably will need the necessary files to sort of grate out the holes for the, or the grooves, should I say, for the strings, yeah. But they are already marked on there, approximately where they should be. And that, again, it's a good thing, because if you're not one of these clever guys that make guitars, well, that helps you an awful lot. And notice next to it that you've got the truss rod adjuster at this end, which is a nice thing. And I wanted to do that because I don't really want to go off down the other end of the neck every time I'd got to make an adjustment. You know, on the Warmoth ones, there's a separate adjuster, but not on these. And you know, really, there's no getting away from it, is there? It's pretty classic as that. And by the way, it's finished on the top, but it's not finished anywhere else. It's just on this face. And my guess is, well, like most things, it's there to protect the logo and the original contour body little logo that's there. Yeah, other than that, I mean, it's absolutely finished really, really well. So there's no finish anywhere else. Do remember that, won't you? Yeah, really nice. Yeah. Let's move around the back and work our way around. And by the way, at this point, you might have a comment about the neck, of what you think of it so far. You know, with the nut and the frets and the quality so far. Don't be put off by some prejudice. I'll say that now before we go any further. This is down at the body end, of course. Stamped Fender there. It's got a number of different markings on it. I don't know what they all are. As you can see, the holes have never actually been used before, and it's got this fantastic, the fantastic feel that you always get from roasted maple. Yeah, it's got this insert in the back, which I guess could be the same wood as what's on the top, or not. I don't know. I can't tell you what that is, but all I can tell you is it looks great and feels great. And down on the end here, I've got a date that says 8th of May 2023. That was when it was originally stamped and put out there, I guess. It's sat on some shelf or being transported by sea or whatever you want to think in between. Yeah, so it's been around for about a year. Well, we're actually in February 24, so 9 months. That's not bad, really. It's as smooth as a baby's bottom. Can I say that on here? I think I can. That looks like 21-22. Yeah, it does look like a 22. Yeah, I can't tell you exactly what it is, but there's the Pau Ferro again, along the back here. So I've moved down the neck a little bit, just to show you a bit more of what's going on here. Isn't that fantastic? It's flawless. It's absolutely flawless, no matter what anybody might tell you. You know, some people will harp on about Fender necks and things like that. And no doubt you will in a minute, but you might not. Here's another shot a bit further along, just short of the headstock. And once again, it's absolutely, honestly, perfect. You might see the odd shot that goes up, you know, as I'm showing you this, that I took close up of different parts of the guitar, just so you get a really good example. Okay. Somebody somewhere will say to me, huh, that's a Mexican neck. Go on, say it. Well, I can tell you something. It makes no difference. The difference it actually makes is that transfer that's there. There is no difference. I've had necks on Fender guitars that have cost well over £2,000. Not as good as this neck. This neck is something different. And the MX bit, personally, I couldn't care less. It is absolutely an awesome neck. What I also like about it, by the way, is the fact that it's been pre-drilled for those, you know, them Fender shallow machine heads. Yeah, you haven't got to do any of that jiggery pokery that I've often had to do to make those work. Yeah, it's a beautiful job as well. It's not a flaw on it, honestly. It's not a flaw on it anywhere. You can see that shine on there, but the rest of it, it's all matte. And it feels just so good, just so good. So I guess any time now the haters will be on the screen while they'll be down there tapping away. You bought that piece of Mexican you know what. When in reality, the only reason you could actually say that about this neck is if you're actually biased. Some people are like that. They'll tell you this is better or that's better or this is worse or it's not an American neck, man. Well, sort of. It's sort of an American neck because I think even the American ones have the Mexican bass neck fitted on the American ones. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. And like I said a little bit earlier, I've had necks from Fender fitted to £2,000 guitars and more that are not as good as this neck. This neck is it's pretty awesome if you want the truth. I can't get over how good it is for the money. And I had bought this one from Warmoth as an example. My guess I would have been paying by the time it arrives in England is between $500 and $600 for something as good as this one. By the way, let's just have a quick look at the end of the frets, which I think is always important. Now, just while you're looking at the end of that fret there, you can see that it looks very sort of squared off, doesn't it? But that's not actually the case. It's not squared off at all. In fact, the frets feel particularly nice. Yeah, particularly nice. And I can tell you they're at least as good as any Warmoth fret end finish. And yeah, that's par for the course, I guess, because historically Warmoth did have lots of problems with, you know, fret end problems. And I used to have to sit there with the file, and I don't really think I'll even have to do that on this one. Yeah, looks pretty cool to me. I don't know. Depends what you like. Yeah, I mean, some people will say Mexican, and some people will also say Mexicant. But don't you let them boys put you off, because I am telling you now that this is a really, really good neck. I can't see anything at all wrong with it. You know, I'm looking over and over. Yeah. Very good. It's going to make that guitar feel and play an awful lot better than I might have otherwise thought. Well, I might have to do a bit of fret leveling. I haven't checked that. And I'm not really going to check it until I'm nearly ready for the guitar. And I haven't actually cut these grooves yet, but I don't see much of a problem in that either. Particularly when I get the thing in place and the rest of it. I don't see that many problems with it. Most ordinary guys could do this. Yeah, what I do like, I happen to have a set of these tuners sitting in my drawer. So, let's pull one out and have a quick look at the back of that neck. Yeah, these are gold ones, but these are the sort of genuine Fender ones. And I just wonder how they'll fit. It's a neck that's never seen these, and these have never seen the neck, and they're both from Fender. Well, Fender Shower for them, and Fender Mexico for them. What's not to like? Well, you might not like it, but let's have a look, see how well these fit. Well, I'm not going to do anything particularly dynamic. I mean, there it is. There are the two little things on the end that you've got to put in. So I'm just going to see if they fit. Yeah, that's like it's a plan, isn't it? And scarily, they're reasonably tight, but they do fit. They do fit pretty nice, actually. You can see that. There's probably a little gap which you've got to put the screw on and that sort of thing, but they do fit quite nicely in there. And so there's no real messing around if you're going to change the neck for a shabby one that you might have. Oh, and lastly, you do actually get a little cheat sheet that helps you to fit the Fender neck. It says here, congratulations on the purchase of a genuine Fender part and thank you. Yeah, there it is, tells you how to fit it. There's nothing special in there. What else we got? Genuine replacement, 1 year limited warranty. Well, I guess that's like it. It's like that for everything, isn't it, these days? 1 year limited warranty. It's very limited, by the way. Yeah, so what's not to like? Well, there's very little not to like. You might not like the MX on the back. I mean, I have to be honest. It's pretty flawless. You'll see it later in the other video where I fit the GK3 and build the guitar up and all that sort of rubbish. Yeah, and if it's too good for that, I'll take it back off and fit it to something else. So, what's the score for this darn thing? Well, what would I give it? For your 275 quid, if you take the tax off and turn it to dollars, it's probably about $270 or something. Put your prices down below on the price of these darn things in America. That'd be worth doing. Helps a lot of people then. Yeah, but for the price, bearing in mind what it is, and don't use the for the price to downgrade the neck from something different than what it really is, because it really is good. I'd rate this at a 10 out of 10. And I've had Warmoth necks, as I said, not quite as good. So it's a 10 out of 10 for a Mexican neck that really should say made in USA on it. And I really wonder why somebody might pay double the price for the American one when it's basically the same basic neck. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't really want better than that. What about DV247 and their part in the plan? Well, it did take about 5 days to get to me, but it did come from Germany, from, I think it was Cologne, or Cologne. Don't ask me how you say it, but that's what you say. And I was in England, and I didn't pay any more money because they've got this sort of way of getting round charging me VAT for something sold in Europe. It's a long story. Don't worry about it. But yeah, service was good, price was good. The actual neck itself was excellent. It might not have been, remember, I can't tell when I'm buying it. I can look at the one on the screen. And I'm going to be doing another video about this sort of thing regarding an Ibanez bass. Yeah, Alan Bruce, my bass guy and colleague, does the vocals and all that sort of stuff. He's looking for one, but I won't bore you too much with it, but you'll be surprised at what, as a buyer, what problems he has had trying to buy the guitar that he has seen. Anyway, more of that another time. That's it for now. Don't forget to do that subscription, will you? Because all costs money. Subscription, thumbs up, you know, that sort of thumbs up thing. And ring the bell, ding ding, yeah. And then when I make a new video, you'll get to see it. I don't make thousands of them these days, but I am making them, and I don't think there's any real duffer ones, even if nobody bothers to want to look at them. Yeah, that's it for now. Until next, there's no point. Of course there isn't any point. What do you expect? But it's great to see you guys. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Now get out of here.